Hi everyone, let us take you through our journey on making the well.
I'll show you.
The well started as an idea for a live action short.
We love those kind of campfire stories, the kind of stories that kids tell each other on sleepovers to scare each other. And we felt the well was a really nice sort of framing device for that.
But as we dug deeper, it became more and more apparent that the only way to make this was entirely an engine. It just lent itself to the technology, and this is what was a real win for us, is that we'd actually found something that deserved this technology to bring it to life, rather than trying to fit a narrative to a piece of tech.
Once we were happy with the script, we began putting together some mood boards for location and clothing, and brought in concept artist Steve Trumbull to really flesh out the look of the environment and the well itself.
One of the things that was really important to us is to make sure these characters were very three-dimensional. They felt very authentic and very real. Because we've been doing live action stuff for years now at Treehouse, we cast Taj, Hannah, Layla and James, who we've all worked with before in previous projects, and I knew they would just have real fun with these characters in the motion capture.
At the same time, we began the process of turning our script into an animatic, a crudely animated first pass of the movie.
It really gave us an idea that the story was working visually. We even made some changes to the script in that process because we saw that there were certain areas which weren't working as well as others. So it's almost like another draft of the screenplay when you do that. It was really the first pass of the movie. So now we're in the loop and we're able to start to bring the well to life. When Metahumans landed, it was a game changer for us. But it couldn't have come at a better time because we were just at this point where we were figuring out how we're going to bring these characters to life, how are they going to move, how are we going to animate them. And when Metahumans landed, it was just a no-brainer that this is the way to go.
Once we were happy, we exported them from the Metahuman creator so that we could create and adjust things like clothing, hair and makeup. In Maya, we took the meshes and distributed out the various tasks. For our custom clothing, we used a combination of ZBrush and Marvelous Designer. We used Marvelous Designer to stitch the patterns together and simulate them on top of the characters. We used Substance Painter for texturing, not just for the clothing, but for hero props like the well itself, in addition to makeup and skin details, even the dirt under Trish's fingernails.
So we created the hair in XGen, which is a plugin in Maya. We generated some guidelines which I sculpted a bit. Then we converted to the interactive grooming tool in XGen, so then we could import it in Unreal.
But we also used it to apply a natural fuzz to Trish's woolen hat.
Not far now.
Yeah, it's basically like creating hair, so we just made them very short and used lots of noise to achieve that kind of like cashmere kind of look. For the clothing, we first rigged them in Maya, so we selected some specific joints that made sense because they were like close to the clothing. Then we copied the skins of the metahuman bodies onto the clothing and did some tweaking with the weight paints. And for some of them we used the Unreal cloth simulation, and for other we put them in Marvelous. We
did create Trish and we were happy with her, and this is quite late in the process actually. We put her in Unreal, we lit her nicely, and I was like, something's missing. It's just like, I don't know what it is, and it was the face paint. And actually, we put that face paint on fairly quickly through Substance, and now I just can't imagine it without that face paint. That face paint just made Trish. So that's a great example of how you're able to constantly evolve because of that real-time pipeline. You're constantly able to make decisions creatively as you go, and the characters evolve and the story evolves.
Once we had our cast locked in, we scheduled our one-day shoot. We used accent suits to capture the body performance and facewear for capturing the face. All the suit data was recorded and backed up in their respective systems. We even used a pair of Stretch Sense gloves for intricate movement of the fingers, which we re-recorded and applied once we had all the performances selected and running in Unreal Sequencer.
I think what I love about working with actors, that I always have in live action, is the sort of the improv, the in-the-moment moments that you're able to create with an actor when a camera's rolling. And there's a lot in the well, actually. There's a lot of lines that the guys say, which was not in the script. It's just where I said, look, just go off on one. Just if you want to do that, And it's those moments that we're then able to inject into a 3D world, which really is exciting.
Once the shoot was complete and all the data logged, we used a combination of preview and the on-set witness cameras to make our performance selects. As the final performances and camera angles were being built, so were the environments. We had 3 main locations in the well: the opening, or what we called the train line, the above ground well, and down the well.
We used volumetric clouds and the atmospheric sky system. This allowed us to really dial in the tone of the piece by controlling exactly the density of the clouds, how high we wanted them to be, the movement of them, and gave more of an organic feel to filming because they were acting like real clouds rather than being a sky dome or a matte painting. Building the set and environments used kit bashing, so various Quixel Mega Scans, marketplace assets. We mixed and matched a lot of different environment packs, urban building packs, the Waterline Pro water simulation pack for down the well, lots of different Mega Scans assets, and it's really how you combine them all together to create the right aesthetic in the set.
Unreal's built-in physics engine, Niagara, was perfect for adding falling leaves and dust particles. To assist the creepy, watery atmosphere, we used a variety of modified lights to provide fake caustic lighting on the walls and our main character. Once processed through the Xsense application, the motion capture data was pretty accurate and looked good straight from the capture volume. There were just a few places where limb and body position needed to be adjusted. It was the same case with the facial performance data. On the whole, it was an excellent base, but we needed a little extra push with keyframing to really nail the lip movements and expressions, which is where Unreal's facial control board came in very handy. Once we baked the take to the control board, we're able to go in and not just clean up the data, but really work on bringing out those subtleties for the actors' performances.
Goodbye, Trader Trish.
Because of the speed of Unreal's workflow, we treated our final rendering process a bit like a shoot day. For example, we would record out a take of the shot, and then we'd see if we wanted to adjust any of the lights and improve the angle.
There was one particular scene where the lead bully actually does a dirty look at Trish, and we just somehow in the process with the lighting or something had changed, and we just lost a little bit of the magic of that moment, which we knew we could get back. So we just put that back into the kind of game design cycle where we went back, and Tom went over to his console, reanimated it. We picked it up and went, there we go, we've got that shot now. And that only came because of this very similar shooting process of dailies and reviewing, and it became this very important creative moment for everyone to work together on.
We finalised the look in a colour grading session, adding film grain, edge blurs, and natural bloom to really finalise the look of the film.
We've been dying to get into this space, but we weren't technicians, we didn't have a massive, huge group of people to create these worlds and characters. But we feel the technology has kind of come into balance with where we are. And I see massive opportunities for telling stories with this tech. And it wasn't easy, this is one of the hardest productions we've done, a lot of late nights, but I think it's worth it because we're all so proud of what we've done. We're just itching to go straight back into another one. So this is the end of one journey, but a beginning of a much bigger one.
Thank you for watching, and for more on The Well and other upcoming productions, subscribe to the Treehouse YouTube channel.